Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. It is a wild start to 2024. Oh my gosh. We have at least 3 crazy storylines going at the same time. Brian Abasolo filing for divorce with Rachel Lindsay. We'll have more on that in the next video. Kaitlyn Bristowe also soft launching a potential relationship with Zach Clark. Maybe they were just posting in this photo, maybe not, but either way, that's soft until it's hard, no pun intended. We're going to have Caitlyn addressing the hate she received following Jason Tartick, her ex, unfollowing her, and some other things going on there. Plus, I've already got 2 videos up this morning on the Clayton Echard paternity scandal. Some of the craziest things, and I don't mean this with hyperbole, some of the craziest things I've ever read were in today's first 2 videos, especially part 2, but you can't have part 2 without part 1. Wild stuff. Follow me on Instagram at @DNeals. I'm going to be live on Patreon this morning, patreon.com/Dave Neal. We're going to do a pre-show live stream tonight at 7 p.m. East Coast, 4 p.m. Pacific. If my voice can withstand it, I'm drinking ginger tea courtesy of my pregnant wife helping me out. I know, wife's pregnant and I'm the diva here who can't get his voice in check. But if you want to donate some bread into the tip jar, come to Patreon today. It'll be fire. Patreon.com/Dave Neal. And also morning and afternoon podcast Bachelor Rush Hour. So many Bachelor stories I haven't been able to get to that we're going to have on the afternoon rush hour. Abigail responding to bullying, a few other non-Bachelor entertainment news stories. Go subscribe there to get the morning and afternoon. So we've got Jason Tartick. We have a statement from an actual video. That's not it. Hold on, here it is. From Kaitlyn Bristowe. I'm going to start this right now. But first, we have a quasi-response happening by Tayshia where she says, did someone say something? We'll have a whole different story on that. That's a whole nother angle here. Kaitlyn doesn't address Zach Clark, but she addresses the fallout with her ex, Jason Tartick, and how it's starting to get ugly. We'll hear what she has to say and interject. She is heading to Golden Bachelor today. She'll be there live in person in the desert as they celebrate love. And in the meantime, we're going to try to just hang on tightly for all of the chaos that's going on. Here's what Kaitlyn had to say.
It's so hard. And you would think, like, this is my platform, my Instagram, my podcast. I should be able to just say and speak my truth. But so many times I want to protect people and I don't want to take them down. And so I'm like,
speak your truth.
That's your double Cancer rising moon.
That is my double Cancer rising moon. And my Gemini also being like, get spicy.
100%.
I personally thought Jason and I were in such a good space. Like, he came over the other day and I gave him a house tour.
Well, I mean, I've been around you too.
Yeah.
Like, in the behind the scenes for months. It seems very amicable. It seems very mature. Like, I've seen you through other breakups. And
now, we never know how someone's going to be triggered, but Kaitlyn says, oh my God, Jason just came over, checked out the new place, which I'm sure is amazing. But then, of course, he unfollowed her on Instagram following this photo coming out where she's now with Zach, which, by the way, I'm sure Jason already knew this. I'm sure he knew that they were together. If they are, I'm sure that wasn't something that would be a blindside. But, you know, as we do on social media, we jockey to play victim. Both she and Jason are going to want their audience to sort of see their side. We're all the star in our own story. What Kaitlyn will need to do, and I don't know if she's going to do that or not, we're going to watch it right now, but what she'll need to do is realize that, like, Jason's going to try his best, she needs to try her best, the problem being the audience that gets in between the two of them and makes things so much worse.
I couldn't do what I do with Jason. I have found myself to be like, I want to invite him in. I want to show him the new house. He was like, I would love to see the house. We speak kindly about each other. We had the best time at Chris Harrison's wedding. So I think I get really confused. Like, it's just, I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm going to try and not get emotional because I cried all day yesterday. But it's really disappointing to me the way that Jason's kind of leaning into the victim mentality, because I don't want to dismiss that he's hurting.
Yeah.
I don't want to dismiss that his feelings are valid and his feelings are hurting. But, like, I have talked to him so openly and honestly.
But also, it doesn't mean you're not hurting too.
I am.
Like, aside from all the shit going on social media.
But
the guest just interrupted what was going to be some amazing content from Kaitlyn. Let her speak.
We have been, like, so transparent with each other to, like, have respect for one another.
I've known you for 8 years, and I've known you all the years you were with Jason. And so he's seen the same things I've seen. And you've gone through stuff and you've had the internet bully you before, and he sees how that affects you. I've seen how that affects you. So why would you ever want someone to feel that way again?
The word disappointment keeps coming up. Like, I feel so disappointed that someone could use a false narrative, like a false narrative accusation, to garner sympathy for themselves.
But you also have to protect your own sanity and your mental health.
So what's interesting here is we don't know for sure if she's with Zach Clark or not. It could just be a photo around her arm. So without knowing for sure, it's almost hard to know if Jason's blowing this out of proportion, or respectfully, is it that Jason hasn't publicly said, hey guys, leave Kaitlyn alone, I'm fine? Does he owe that to Kaitlyn? Yeah, maybe. Why not? Why not just say, hey guys, I'm fine, thank you, move it along? But instead, Kaitlyn had to kind of defend herself and say, hi, here to say that there was never an ounce of cheating happening, and I will not stand for this rumor. So I guess by Jason not striking down this rumor, it doesn't help the cause. If I were Jason and I really wanted to look good, I would make a post saying, hey guys, leave Kaitlyn alone. Our relationship ended amicably. I'm moving on. I'm dating other people. She's allowed to move on too. Boom, done. Now, he doesn't owe that to her, but if he did that, it would look good on his behalf.
And I think to internalize and keep things in is so unhealthy. Like, you and I were talking yesterday, and you just like wrote something out and you're like, I feel so much better. I'm like, well, yeah, because we're not meant to internalize.
Alicia McCarville, she said her husband like posted something. The thought was, hey, let's say somebody leaves trash in my yard and it's on my property, and somebody else comes by and goes, well, there's already trash there, I'm gonna leave some more trash, and that trash just builds up because people think it's okay, and then that trash is now in my space and I'm supposed to just stay quiet about it.
Yeah,
you're in my space, and if you don't like me, that's fine. I'm not asking everyone to like me, but you're in my space. So why am I not allowed to clear the trash and
100%.
say, hey, actually, you don't know the truth about this. I'm surprised by this reaction by somebody because of X, Y, and Z. Like, I'm even holding back now because I want to still protect people and not just throw them under the bus.
I say, tell your truth, Kaitlyn. If that involves throwing Jason under the bus at this point, I don't know, but this is why relationships end so poorly, because people do share their truth and it's hurtful to other people. I don't know if there's anything else they're talking about with regards to Jason here. He did post this, which was like a zoomed in kind of grainy shot that said Happy New Year. And in the comment section, when someone said, let's just pretend 2024 starts tomorrow, his buddy said that. He said, yeah, sure, that's great, tomorrow, so then he posted on his Instagram story, 2024 starts tomorrow, which was him saying today sucked, and blah blah blah. Again, he, it's like all like a chess match here. It's not like obvious aggressions. Would you call them microaggressions? Does he have a right to feel his feelings? Absolutely. But we don't know exactly what went down. Kaitlyn alluding here to there being more to the story, like as in maybe Jason had more to do with the dumping than we previously thought. Again, not really sure.
Be Matt Rife in 2024.
So then,
I don't.
So then she says, I want to be Matt Rife in 2024. And of course, what she meant was the fact that he'll say how he feels, even if it's garbage.
About him, because I understand, like, I actually love people holding people accountable, and like, I don't know, I understand that there's certain things that have to be done. I do disagree with a lot of canceling, but Matt Rife just doesn't give a
Oh no, he does not. I mean, I'm curious, for like 24 hours I want to know what it would feel like to be that Delulu, like to just not like have a fucking care in the world, because I have a lot of cares.
But he does. I've met him in real life. I feel like he does, but like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like he does, but that like also kind of becomes part of his shtick where he doesn't.
It's like it would be nice to live in a world where you care what your contemporaries think of you, your peers, people in your world, and not randoms online. Now, no offense to you, you're watching this. Statistically, you're probably a random. You're probably someone I don't know. Maybe you're a friend. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. But it does hurt when you care what other people think about you. And as they always say, what you think of me is none of my business. And what Gary Turner said recently is, let other people be wrong about you. That's easier said than done. For everybody who leaves a comment saying, oh, just get over it. You've never been in that position. You don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I get with comedy that there's boundary pushing, and Like, I laugh
well,
at
he
jokes.
involved like a child. That's just taking it too far.
Oh, 100%. And I think also because his audience is mainly women, it's like he just
So now they're getting off talking about Matt Rife, which let's see if she says anything else about Jason.
Did him.
And he like catapulted like very quickly.
I think that's it. I think that's all we're going to get from Kaitlyn. Let me know if I'm missing anything here. They go on to talk about Matt Rife, a comedian who's, been controversial in the news. But they also kind of mischaracterized why he was controversial. They said he involved a child. It's a completely different story. It didn't start that way. Someone used their kid in a conversation. Anyway, it's a whole different conversation. Disappointed the way Jason Tartick is leaning into the victim mentality. She said, I feel so disappointed. Kaitlyn's allowed to feel her feelings. Audiences are allowed to feel theirs. My advice for people, and again, this doesn't always work well with social media because there's a lot of, your haters really pay your bills sometimes. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Unless they sue you for harassment, and then in which case it costs a lot of money. But the point being is that if you don't like Kaitlyn, just stop talking about her. That's what people should do that don't like her. Just stop talking about her. But even though she talks about this, like taking the garbage out, and that's probably blocking people and things like that. But then you've got these other Bachelor accounts that are big accounts. Like we love BachelorNation.scoop. It's a big account, 183,000 followers. And Kaitlyn went on there because it's like, even though she's taking her trash out on her end, she still has to protect her image. And she says, look, you can hate me for dating a girl I used to co-host a TV show with, ex-fiance, which essentially is what it is, but don't get mad about me for cheating. That didn't happen. So it's very tough to wrangle an audience together. I truly don't have the anecdote for her as far as giving a flip, but I hope at some point she just says, you know what? And again, we've talked about this ad nauseum, but just get away from the comment section. Continue living your life. Trust me when I say this. If you are not online, nobody would say these things to you in person. You have plenty of fans. I have to remind myself that at the same time. If you get off the internet, plenty of people are buying tickets, coming out to stand-up shows. I mean, God, I can't even tell you how special it was last week when I had people nearly on the verge of tears telling me their life story, and I got to meet them and connect with them in person. That's real life. I'm sure Kaitlyn has this when she does Spade and Sparrow events, when she does a Costco event or wherever, Target. I'm sure people that go meet her are so happy to see her and give her that positive energy. Don't let the internet rob you of that. Keep living your life. To whoever needs to hear that. We'll be back with more content. And if there's any more breaking news on this story, we'll have it. My guess is tomorrow there'll be some more stuff. Just saying that, old Dave Nostradamus over here, I think more might come out. Patreon.com/Dave Neal. I'll be there right after this.